welcome to Colorado Hunting Hub. This podcast is designed to talk about everything hunting in Colorado. Whether you're a new hunter, old timer, or something else, Colorado Hunting Hub will have something for you. I'm your host, Clint Whitley, and let's get started.
Ground, this is God's country.
Welcome back to Colorado Hunting Hub. We've got some big news. I've been kind of alluding to a big announcement and a new move. Probably doesn't change much for you other than I got new music. Hope you like it. It's one of my favorite songs right now. I've been digging. And we're going to merge with iHunt Colorado, a Facebook page that's very popular, got 40,000 members, and it's just going to open up some opportunities for us and bring some opportunities to you, which does mean I need to bring in some guests, which may be sharing a product, but it'll allow us to do giveaways and bring some of those good topics or gear things, because gear always seems to be a very hot topic with podcasts, and people are always wondering, and you see those posts on Facebook all the time. So we're going to merge with them, but I'm going to still keep my same link, same everything, still going to be called the same. But if you look at my logo now, I've added iHunt, supported by iHunt Colorado. And there'll still be a little bit more growth to happen, but we're going to take one step at a time. So that's the biggest news. I wanted to give you an update on some CPW commission stuff. The small game contests have been banned in Colorado, so I think we're the 6th state now to have done that. That's kind of a big deal, and that just happened so fast. And then also something passed the other day that requires you to have a hunting license to go onto state wildlife property. So that was just another little deal. And then email came out just 4 hours ago sharing some important stuff that now suddenly I'm forgetting. Here it is. That they released the big game winter range and migration corridor report. So I've got some things scheduled with some CPW folks. I'll bring this up. It'll be some regional stuff. So if you hunt in the Northwest, Southeast, Southwest, Northeast, I'm trying to get an interview with each one of the representatives in that area to give you a rundown on the outlook of the herd, how licenses are allocated in those areas. So I think that would be very specific. So that could be cool, as well as the shed hunting with a CPW representative. We're going to do that one here pretty soon as well. I'm going to tell a story. I got a text the other day. I got to share it. This is from my good old buddy D-Stag up in northern Idaho. Used to live here, used to hunt here. But this is what he said. The hunt began at dawn. I had scouted the Super 1 Isle with my Cuddyback 9000 and set up downwind approachable shooting position. I walked in only to find the Isle only filled with subpar trophies. I filled my call tag quickly with a 4-pack of John Wayne brand. On a hunch, I walked the ridge over to the Safeway fields, approaching slowly for downwind. I stalked into unfamiliar Isles. Glassing from a distance, I spotted some more call-level trophies. So I continued stalking, only to see the Boone and Crockett of toilet papers. I seized the moment, moving quickly to a shooting position. Shouldering my rifle, I was able to scope range my quarry. An ethical shot was placed, and the trophy properly tagged and checked. Green scoring is 96 rolls. And then I got a picture of this bearded wonder of a man with a big old roll package of Charmin, 96 rolls. So that made my day, D-Stag. I appreciate it very much. And if we can get D-Stag on this show, everyone's up for a laugh because he's good stuff. But in this episode, I'm sharing, doing something a little different. I was in the field hiking for 25 miles and trying to find some sheds. And if you look at listen to the previous episode, it was a pre-shed hunting trip thing. And now I've got a post-shed hunting trip episode where didn't find much, but I'll kind of share a little bit about what kind of emotional roller coaster we went through. So you can listen to that as I'm hiking through the field and sharing some different things with some different clips. So it'll kind of jump from one time to the next. So enjoy that. And thanks again to iHunt Colorado for bringing me on. And thanks to onX. We're going to do a giveaway here very soon. So watch for those links and we'll give away some memberships.
Welcome to Colorado Hunting Hub podcast in the field. I'm out hiking right now. Probably the most beautiful elk country I've ever seen. And I already spotted some elk. It's opening day, May 1st in Colorado for shed hunting. And already got one average 6-point fresh brownie found, but trying to think like an elk a little bit and figure out where the heck they would drop. We just don't really know, because everything looks just so freaking good. A little glassing, a little fallen trails, but I still have to find my first. My buddy found his, so I will stay tuned in and let you know what I find. So I'm freaking having a time of my life and I haven't found a shed. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this is my favorite shed hunting trip ever. Still nothing on my end. 750 and in some unbelievably gorgeous country, but can't believe the number of shed hunters in this area. I strolled in 11:45 last night, got up at 5 and sitting in the camper drinking coffee and I was on the road by 6 and had 5 vehicles drive right by me. So, must be sheds in here, which I'm okay with. Plenty of sheds to go around. Haven't run across some boot tracks, so that means there are some poachers in this area, because no one is going to be where I am unless we're poaching sheds, which is frustrating. But I would have to walk within the same 20 yards they would. So there's plenty of country, plenty of bulls, plenty of sheds for everyone. It's just hopefully people haven't scoured things and put piles, which I know they have. There's piles everywhere. They're coming back today to get their stashed piles, but I'm doing it right. I don't have a single shed found prematurely, and I'm having a great time. Again, I will say 2 hours into, an hour into first day, this is probably going to be my favorite shed hunting trip, just because new country, really cool, beautiful country in the high desert. It's unique, and just coming out over top of a beautiful sage flat surrounded by pinyon junipers, and that sage flat is on a little bench. I'm gonna glass that up, and if I don't find a shed on that, that means I just have the wrong angle. But trying to use my binos, I'm so bad at using my binos. Stay tuned. And I'm back, 9:20, still no sheds. 4 miles in, some of the initial excitement's wearing off, so it's the shed hunting mental game to start playing, and the my legs aren't fresh anymore kind of playing, but still got a lot to go. Getting a little warmer, getting a little hungry, a little thirsty, but every 25 yards there is a raked tree for the last 4 miles. It is unreal the amount of elk activity in a trophy unit. That's all I'm going to say about where I'm at. There's plenty of shed hunters, but like I said before, there's plenty of ground for everyone. It really is. And I could walk what I just walked 5 times and have different results and go somewhere different. But beautiful day, not too hot yet. And enjoying some good weather. Testing out some trekking poles. First time I've ever used trekking poles. Makes me feel old. They're a little bit of cumbersome, but if I had a rifle or a bow, there's no way I'd carry them or use them. I need my hands free, because it's that and binoculars and a rangefinder. If you're hunting, it's just too much to deal with. But for doing this, even walking through some sage, I think it's worth it if it's taking a couple pounds off my knees and off my back. So might be worth it. We'll check in next time with a pack full of sheds, hopefully. Well, last time I checked in, making my way through a really sweet piece of sage, covered a lot of really good country, and making my way back through some pinny and juniper, but same results. There's plenty of elk sign, smell elk every half hour or so. They're just no sheds, and have a nice little chunk to walk through on the way back that I think's as good as it gets, and I'll be hopeful. Just not won't have, dropped my phone. I just won't have the expectations of finding too terrible much. But one of the things that I noticed, some tactics that seem to be working, not that I know how to do them, but what I've noticed talking to other guys and seeing other stuff is some of these areas it's just covering ground and getting the low-hanging fruit. But other guys really good with their optics, and that's a tactic I've mentioned before that I'm not good at, because it requires a lot of patience. But one of those, maybe finding some cliffs, getting up on there and spending some time glassing and looking, or even from the roads and glassing and glassing and glassing and spotting sheds that way. I think as I try to implement some of those things, that's making me a better hunter. And even though it's not hunting season with a gun or bow, I am honing in on some of those skills to practice my glassing and how I scan a piece of ground and how I find something that just sticks out that doesn't really seem to fit. So being able to do that, I think, is helping my glassing skills. And then on top of that, if you have $2,500 Swarovskis with that can see miles and miles with good quality, I suppose that helps. But that's not me. Brought my tripod along for my binoculars, but haven't busted them out. I seem to always bring those along, and I just don't bust them out that often. But that's on me. That's my downfall, and something I think even the shed hunting we could improve on. So I'm probably done with checking in on this hunt unless I come up on something cool. But we are making our way back to the four-wheelers, making our way back to camp, load up and hit the road. Might hit a spot on the way home, but not anything too crazy. So it's kind of crazy thinking about the number of miles I've covered, how few of antlers I've found. Even in subpar terrain, I think I'd be finding more. But I'm at almost 4 miles today, 12 miles yesterday, got a mile to go. Miles Friday. That puts us at 23, 24 miles in 3 days. And very few antlers. That's the way it is. And boy, have I learned a lot and found some cool property that I will never have the points to hunt. But it's okay. I'll come back here and do this again. I'm going to outsmart the terrain and outsmart things and try and find things that other guys missed. I'll be back another day or another year. It'll be fun. So thanks for listening to Shed Hunting Trip semi-live. It's not live, but as live as I'm going to get. And hopefully you pick something up that helps you in your shed hunting trip or motivates you to get out. Day 2 went on without any other finds besides that little one, so I'm 1 shed per 8 miles and 1 shed a day, so not great, but seen some folks with stacks of them. Just a matter of finding the right country. This country's so big that it's just hard to, you don't know it. You don't know exactly where they're going to drop because everything just looks so good. But we're on last morning, and found a pretty sweet spot that got a lot of good sign. Just walking into a sage flat right now that just looks promising, but we will see what the day brings. It's just going to be a shorter day. We get 5-6 miles in, that'd be a good end of the weekend, and head back home. So hopefully I'll have a much better picture for you on Instagram than a crappy little 5-point. Well, we'll see. Well, oh cool, some elk. I noticed that my audio didn't get saved, so screwed that up for most of day 2 in a beautiful spot, looking at a cow and a calf right now, and another cow walking along some sage flats and in a little bowl. Just perfect looking, kind of northwest facing. I don't think that could get any better. Unless there was a 380-inch shed sticking around somewhere. But wanted to just do a little quick shed hunting update on day 2 and start of day 3, because I don't think much of my audio got saved, because I'm still learning how to run some of this. But day 2 was a tough day. 12 miles. went up a little higher, but not even that high, like 500 feet higher, and found a bunch of chalk. I didn't, but I did. I found just a little world's smallest 5-point, and which is a really cool little shed, but it's kind of chalky, and that's about it. Beautiful day, one of the nicest days of hiking ever. 60s, and got sprinkled on a couple of times, which was really, really nice. Nice cool breeze, so couldn't ask for anything better there. Just noticing a lot of the activity and trying to learn some property, and again, like I said, going through the mental battle of trying to reason where and why an elk will be where it is in April, shedding its antlers, and the big one, and how it's going to shed versus the smaller one, and where they're going to be, and how they're going to be showing up. And looking into a big old sage flat right now, just hoping to see two big bases sticking up somewhere, but I can only get so hopeful. End of day one kind of ended with a F this attitude, and again, that's a roller coaster that you're going through in this process, especially when you see vehicles driving by with stacks in the back of their side by sides and pickups. We don't have much of a stack at all, but again, it's learning some new country, and it's kind of cool to see some other guys in their monster bulls. It's just neat to see an area with large animals. Well, one day, just gotta cover enough ground, and one day I'll find a good little pocket myself. But that's what it seems to be, is big expansions of nothing with little pockets of a set or two in an area. So got to get that 10 miles covered first before I find that little pocket. But I'm still having a good time, and we'll end the day today mid-afternoon and head home, and eventually hit some country around where I live. But kind of crazy to see the number of guys from Utah in this area. And the number of shed hunters, period, are coming in. It's kind of like a business. Show up, pick up their antlers, get out, go to the next spot, and so on. It's kind of what it seems like. I'm trying to get off my phone right now and concentrate on what I'm doing. These brown antlers are hard to find.
Well, as you can tell, I didn't find much. And I stated at the beginning, this is going to be one of the best shed hunting trips I've ever been on. It was good. I didn't have my pack full of antlers. If you watch any YouTube and watch the Hush crew, man, those guys find antlers and they figure it out. That was not me. So if you're one of those guys that likes the old Primos videos or whatever of 38 kills in 30 minutes kind of thing, or if you're a realist and want to know what it's really like, that was what it's really like. And sometimes I get skunked. So like I told you before, I'm an average hunter, and with, let's just say, average skills, who knows? But I learned a lot. And one thing I need to do now, and I'm going to take away, is some different glassing. Definitely learned that from some other folks and watching them use their high dollar optics. So I don't have that. I've got some good binoculars. I don't have a good spotting scope, but I'll deal with what I got. I'll put it on a tripod and see if I can't do more glassing to find sheds than covering 25 miles of ground and just ending up with a bad back. but it was still a great time. So I hope you enjoyed listening to a little different type. Next week the next episode, we're going to have some big things coming again. Like we just said, we're merging and getting our voice out there with a greater audience. So if you're tuning in because you're part of that greater audience, appreciate you listening, and we'll keep bringing you some things that I hope you want to hear.
Right outside of this one church town, there's a gold dirt road to a whole lot of nothing. Got a deed to the land, but it ain't my ground. This is God's country.